Hi everyone, this is my ground condom. Dunk. Yeah, you're just gonna.
Alrighty, moving on. I think Stu, you had something you wanted to bring in.
I'm sure, as most people are aware, there's new smartphones coming out all the time. The sort of Samsung and Apple tend to release a new lineup every year, and it's the time of the year for Samsung to release them, and they've launched their new S24 lineup, and the hardware-wise, they are pretty similar to the last generation, and their big thing is that they're calling it the AI revolution, I think, is their term. So they've built in a bunch of AI features into these new phones. Some of them, things that we're quite used to already, like being able to use AI to edit photos and stuff in your gallery. And some of them are potentially pretty revolutionary. For example, you can have a phone conversation with someone in a different language and it will translate them and translate you in real time using AI. So
bet you doesn't speak Pig Latin though.
Well, presumably it uses Google Translate, and Google Translate does do Latin, so not Pig Latin, but maybe that is an option. So I guess my sort of question to all of you is, as we move into a world where we're using AI all the time, is that an issue? Are we going to become over-reliant on AI? Is it really the future that it's being made out to be? It's a big open can of worms, I suppose.
I feel like it's a question that can have such nuanced answers to it. Like, obviously, so many people are going to say yes, no, maybe, little things, big things. But like, I feel like it depends on how it's not how it's governed, but I guess how it's managed when it's released or given to the people is the biggest thing. Like, you look at little things now, like Samsung's doing like big overhaul to create it, to make it such a massive platform as a part of their lineup. Or you look at like just a little bit beforehand where the latest Pixel release as well, just before it has had little AI performance abilities like their smart photo functions.
Yeah.
But then on top of that, I guess you look at things like ChatGPT and etc. I think it can be used to make it. I think the only thing I'd be afraid of is it making people less intelligent over the future, like trying for themselves to figure something out.
Yeah.
I think that's what I would concern myself with. But I think it can be used correctly to make people's lives easier on the day-to-day in terms of, as you said, like real-time translation. I think that's a pretty cool feature. Like, things like that, if they focus on key things and things that could really help people that are probably, having harder sustainability of life, whether that's through disability or not being able to speak a certain language or something like that, then I think it helps us massively. But I think the fear is that it'll dumb people down over time because people won't try as hard to learn something because AI can do it for them.
Yeah, I kind of tend to agree on that, and I think this is a point that we were at really in the mid-90s, where we've sort of created something again that we don't quite understand properly, much like the internet. The internet is fast, especially over the last few years, become more and more reliant, or people have become more and more reliant on the internet. And yeah, I agree that, people are going to become very reliant on AI. But I think as well that there are so many implications that AI can be a great thing. Like, we can go down the rabbit hole of like so many different diseases that might be able to be cured with AI being able to see things that humans can't and be able to put things together that we can't. Like the applications of AI can go into really great things. The problem that we're going to have is the people that don't understand AI. I saw a post the other day where someone was going on about how AI was evil and all this sort of stuff, and that it's already learning how to lie to its developers. And I'm like, but it only can lie to the developers if the developers have programmed it to do so.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Do you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, it's got to be programmed to be able to do that.
Sure. Yeah.
I guess that's also why a lot of AIs get taken as an offline AI, like ChatGPT is only updated to certain date points so that it can't overlearn, I guess.
Yeah.
Except for the version of ChatGPT that's used in Bing AI.
That one.
Which is,
of course.
GPT-4, a version of GPT-4. On that point about dumbing down, though, I reckon when you think about the revolution of the internet, it's actually caused somewhat of a change in how we define certain parts of intelligence, because intelligence as a thing used to be a lot more categorized by things like memorization, whereas now those parts of what we would call intelligence that we used to think about as being able to memorize something, we think about in terms of being able to look up information really quickly, get it accurately, that sort of thing. So it's not necessarily that people are going to be dumbed down by AI, or that people who were intelligent anyway are going to be made more stupid by becoming reliant on AI. They will just change how they look up information, how they get information.
For sure. And you go, Sheep. Sorry, apologies.
No, you go.
The only other point is I probably should have gone through as well is that, because you're 100% right. Like it doesn't have to go that way either. Like it can go positive, that more access to being able to understand things and ask questions is really good. I think it's more over the last 6 or 7 months, you see things pop up like AI scripts for people who are doing things like essays and homework and stuff like this. And basically they're all getting done for plagiarism because they're not actually doing it in. And don't get me wrong, intelligence does not mean you're good at your schoolwork. But, you know, if things like that become too massive or too strong, then I feel that that can create the issue. But in terms of, you know, being able to have so much more at your fingertips to understand things, or maybe have it explained to you rather than having to read it off of a computer or anything like that, may make it a lot easier for people and possibly make it a stronger point. So yeah, definitely understand that. That was more,
So,
I should have been more specific there.
Yeah. So yeah, with Stu's point about not dumbing people down, it does. The internet gave everyone access to things a lot quicker. We didn't have to go to the library and rent out a book or go
find
buy
an encyclopedia.
You know, go buy 50 million Britannica encyclopedias. You know what I mean? Everything's there. The one thing we didn't do with the internet that we need to do with AI, and quickly, is have a groundwork of regulations on what it can and can't do.
Yeah, that's what I'm more worried about. It going too far and people using it to I just lost my train of thought now.
Yeah, I get what you're saying though. Like, you know, maybe using it for ill intentions.
Yeah, finding a way to use it for the wrong purpose rather than the great things it can do. Yeah.
So
sure.
You know, obviously have a groundwork of regulations in there for general use, and then obviously, you know, that groundwork is then, you know, there's exceptions for people in the medical industry or, you know, stuff like that, where you know it can really, really benefit. At the same time, there's always going to be people that are going to use it for ill intentions. We're going to have a whole new generation of hackers that are going to be able to use this AI to do anything. But on the flip side, people can be using, like, security systems can be using this AI to combat it in real time without having people watch over it and create codes. and stuff like that. The AI can just generate that. So
I feel the biggest worry, as with all new things like it was with iPhones or the internet or anything like that, is the fear it generates. And I think if you concern yourself too much with the fear of new prospects, it can't be understood to figure out how it can work for everyone is the biggest issue. I think that's what would get me. But I think the biggest thing is also going to be how it further integrates into big parts of lives, like, I don't know, government systems, learning systems, just every day. I mean, even shopping, I guess. But, it's just, I guess that's the biggest thing. But I think if you don't, I think if everyone takes too long to stay too fearful of it, it doesn't, it probably won't have the ability to be able to do what it can do or grow how it could, because people won't accept it quickly enough.
People are always going to feel what they don't understand. And they're always going to make up things to try and just persuade other people to distrust it as well. I mean, look at the 5G and all this other stuff that happened. I've got people that I know that are like, the corporate world, it's evil and we've got to stop using all this. And then they post this stuff on Facebook.
Through their 5G network.
The only way you can do the way you're saying to do things, go live off grid. Get rid of your phone, get rid of all your possessions, go build your own hut, make your own clothes, grow your own food, claim a piece of land for yourself, and just off you go.
I still, and Zach, your mum will be, Beck will be able to attest to this too. I remember still when working at a phone company, everyone's still coming and being like, I don't want a phone that's going to upgrade me to the 5G because I'm going to get the radiation off the cell towers and the government's going to be listening to me. And I'm like, 5G is not going to upgrade to them being able to listen to you. And if they could have, it wouldn't be 5G that changes that for you, my friend.
They've had that ability to do that for quite some time.
It's like every second person, man. I bet they still go in now and they go, just give me a 4G phone, which, I mean, companies will make bank off of because they can just make cheap 4G phones. But yeah.
And they still do. And absolute crazy. Is that kind of an answer that you're expecting those to?
I think so. I mean, what I always circle back to with AI, which I think we were kind of onto it at one point, was that the more you understand, the more you can get out of it, right?
Yeah.
So the better that you understand. Say you're using a GPT, for example, the more that you understand the topic that you are interacting with the GPT on, the more that you can actually drill down and get more out of it. And the same with AI more generally, that the more that you just understand AI itself, the more you understand what you can get out of it. And there is such a wealth of possibilities with AI that we're going to see coming over the next few years. And it'll just be interesting to see how it goes. But yeah, you're absolutely right that fear-mongering is going to stop some of that, and potentially it will mean that regulations will be too stringent.
Governments are one place that are going to be very fearful of it. And again, there's some of the people that don't understand. Just because they're in charge doesn't mean they're knowledgeable on this stuff.
The same thing with cryptocurrency, governments are so scared of it because they don't understand it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, they think it's going to take money out of their back pocket. But in saying that, AI is something that is going to be here to stay, so we just need to learn to live with it, and we might as well educate ourselves on it. It's that simple, really.
I'm still getting my bomb shelter ready.
Of course you are. Have you gotten your 15-year supply worth of beans yet? Has it come in?
Yeah.
Where is this bomb shelter going to be, Blowy?
I haven't worked it out yet. I'm still.
Yeah,
it's good enough. Probably a good.
He's just gonna dig a hole in the middle of Vic Park.
Pretty
Probably a
much.
good reason why I'm building such a big one out the back here.
It doesn't
With a
surprise
bowling
me at
alley.
all that out of the four of us, Zach is the one most likely to be a prepper.
Is Mr. Bombshell? No, it's not a shock
no,
at all.
I've always said that we wanted land so that I could prep it in case of a zombie apocalypse. I don't care about bombs. I don't care about bombs and all that and nuclear war. Zombie apocalypse, man. You got to be prepared.
You've watched too much Walking Dead, my guy.
Oh no, dude! I've been playing zombie game. I played Resident Evil at like 13 years old. Like,
Yeah.
I watched this episode of Midsummer Murders recently, where there's this group of preppers and they're all like taking each other out to try and one up each other to sort of prove that the others aren't as well prepared as they are.
Watch out of the end of all of this. Zach ends up being right, and he's just sitting in his little hole, and we're all like dust. And
it will literally be a hole with a like bin bag liner and a metal lid over the top
with a wooden lid over it. Yeah.
No, he'll go down to Bunnings and get one of those like metal tin can
aluminium.
things.
Yeah.
Put that in the ground and sit in it with a lid on top.
Protection. Yeah.
No room for the wife and kids, just him.
No, just
Hi everyone, this is my ground condom. Dunk. Yeah, you're just gonna...
One tin of beans, lights a fire in there.
Dies from smoke inhalation.
Yeah.
I survived, but at what cost?